Olá, tudo bem? Eu sou o Daniel Kiss, estou aqui na Inove Magistral junto com o Flávio da Newcorp e a Samantha da AIDP e estamos aqui para conversar com você sobre um tema que certamente você conhece alguém que tenha algum déficit cognitivo, algum problema relacionado à memória e vamos conversar sobre um produto que realmente é eficaz, Magtein. Let's talk about Magtein. Magtein is one of the products that, here in I9 Magistral, we have a lot of success with our customers, and especially with the final consumer. We receive a lot of feedbacks of final consumer using Magtein and perceiving value, perceiving benefits in any kind of cognitive conditions. You are one of the specialists in Magtein, you too. Let's talk about Magtein.
Yeah, for sure. It's always a pleasure for me to talk about Magtein because certainly is one of the most important products that we had in our portfolio, is one of the reasons about our partnership with AIDP. We starting to get the product registration in Anvisa, and we are working hard to try to protect the product patent in Brazil, because we have many patents around the world, and even we have a patent in Brazil. So this is a very clear and important subject to share with our partners, right? So everybody needs to, in these days, these crazy days that we are living, that we are connected every time connected, that we are made many things in the same time. So everybody needs love to get to having more booster cognitive, right? So and so far Magtein is the best ingredient to offer this.
And also in quality of sleeping.
Of course. Magnesium is related, is a key ingredient for every cognitive condition, right? So of course, I would like, Samantha, that you explain a little bit about the Magtein history, how this ingredient, this important ingredient, appear in AIDP, for example.
Yeah. Magtein is fun to talk about because the history is really interesting. The scientist that invented Magtein, he at the time was looking for a pharmaceutical compound, actually, that could reverse some of the processes in the brain that lead to Alzheimer's. And as he was, it was a model, as he was reviewing various compounds that he was putting through this model, it was almost an accidental discovery that this magnesium L-Treonato was incredibly effective at turning on senescent brain cells and allowing them to communicate with one another, basically restoring their function after. And so it increased the synaptic density so effectively that it was, everything else was obsolete. And given that it's a compound of magnesium, the incredible thing is he was able to then go down a route of supplement development with the material. And that's around when AIDP came along and took the ingredient and really invested in the regulatory, the IP, the clinicals, and built that market and educated the masses around Magtein. And today, no matter where I am in the world, people associate AIDP with Magtein. And do you have any samples? Is the first question.
I can imagine.
This product is amazing. And of course, when we talk about patent, this is something that is very important to explain to our audience. Patent is a security to the final consumer. They are using something that is regulated, that was studied, is one of ways to guarantee to the final consumer they are using the product will works. And every time, in Brazil, some people don't see a patent as a security level. Some people don't understand the right way of patent. But it's important to talk about that. This product has a patent of commercialization to trade with compounding pharmacies, but especially with compounding pharmacies in a patent regulated. And I always talk about patent with our audience, with our customers. But what makes the beauty of Magtein is not just the patent. No. It's the benefit that the final consumer perceives. Yeah. And when in our case, the compounding pharmacies use Magtein instead of other kind of magnesium or other formulas like a mixture, not a Magtein formula, they perceive the final consumer using and rebuying it because they perceive value, they perceive the benefits. And that's the beauty of this product. The final consumer using Magtein perceive the benefits.
Daniel, the patent is not the base of the ingredient.
No, of course
so far. The patent is just to protect the level of investment that the company made around the product. So, so far, Magtein is a nutraceutical ingredient with one of the hugest scientific base that we had in our portfolio. To talk about the Magtein science, the science behind Magtein, we can take something, we can talk about nutraceuticals ingredients. Yeah. It's not usual we have behind the nutraceuticals ingredients this kind of level of science behind, right? So as Samantha explained it before, they had in mind in that moment to have a drug, you know? So the level of investment that they put behind of this ingredient is so strong. So for that, they invest so hard in this patent around protection around the world. So of course they are so the base of Magtein is the science. Yeah, okay, so everything that we promise in our discussion, in our conversations with the customers, is have lots of clinicals, safety clinicals protection, clinical trials, effectiveness basis. So everything is guaranteed in this science. Yeah. So of course we are working to sell, no? Yeah. But we are sell something really good.
Yeah, right? Something that promote benefits.
Yeah, yeah. And what we need to push in is, we are talking about something so hard, so the prevention or the synergy in the treatment with patients with Alzheimer's, or to prevent Alzheimer's. So we are talking about something so difficult to the families, to the patients that live in this kind of condition. That let's talk in serial way about that, right? So we had patents about the ingredient, the molecule, but we also have patents about the obtaintion process. So it's not because you see in the other companies L-Treonato, is not the guarantee that you have the same ingredient. You know that we made some analysis. We got in the market some competitors samples, and we made some analysis.
Completely different.
It's not necessary do any difficult analysis. It's just make a spectrophotometry, infrared spectrophotometry to take a comparison of the print finger. Is a print finger comparison, and the product don't have 15% of similarity. So it's a totally different ingredient. So the name is the same, the specification is closely, but when you put the product comparison in the spectrophotometry, the graphic is totally different. So we have more than 90%, the 85% of difference in the graphic. So what they are offering to the customers? How you can guarantee that the prescription will bring to the customer, to the patient, what the product promise? No? So this is a very serious discussion, in my opinion, right? Because the level of investment that that AIDP and now how is the name of the company that Triotech. That Triotech is still putting in this investment is very hard. So it's a very premium ingredient for our market, and so far it's one of the most important that we had.
Oh, to add to that, you talk about the science and the patents. We have the science for efficacy, but also the amount of science and development that went into the production of the product. I mean, to have the number and strength of patents that we have behind the material, there had to be obviously something very, unique, proprietary, obviously to be granted those patents. But my point is, we're talking about something that's crossing the blood-brain barrier. And almost 2 decades worth of expertise went into developing the process to consistently produce a stable, safe compound that is being used in these studies. I don't know anybody that would be willing to take something that is crossing the blood-brain barrier without having some sort of security that this is what is safe and studied and produced in a manner that's consistently stable, consistently bioavailable. That's not a risk I'd be willing to take. I don't know about you guys.
And to add something in this way of thinking, you mentioned the scientist who developed the product, Dr. Liu.
Yes.
Dr. Liu developed it by, 10 years.
Like 15 more years ago.
More years in MIT. And everyone who continues studying this Magnésio L-Treonato and produce some articles in the source. When you read the paper, in the source,
they source the test material is Magtein. Exactly.
Yes. And also, they mentioned Dr. Liu as the reference, yes, in the article. And some people who, start to read about the magnesium in the brain and start read about Magnésio L-Treonato, sometimes see an article mentioning just Magnésio L-Treonato. and they didn't know or don't know they are using Magtein in the study. And sometimes they prescribe just Magnésio L-Treonato, and the market is how it is, and sometimes people are selling something that is not Magtein.
Sometimes we know that sometimes it's difficult to the market accept that this kind of ingredient have one time to have a competition in the market. Because many reasons. Because the product has patents, because product has secret process to have a good obtention, molecule obtention, right? And because the product has
results,
right? So the level of investment that was made before bring to this ingredient a hard level of guarantee and the commitment with the treatment, with the doctor. So we are talking about something very, very serious. But we understand our market, right? So we are not trying to force anybody to using nothing. But if you intend to use, so let's thinking about in serious way, right? Is feasible put our marketing, our treatment, the doctor perception about the patient expectations in risk because of nothing. But we are here to bring to the market information. The product is in good hands in this market. You guys are making a very good job, and you know that you can count with us for everybody.
We are just bringing all the information to the population, to the compounding pharmacy, and they are choosing Magtein. But of course, we have some obstacles. Obstacles. I don't know if this word.
Some challenges.
Some challenges. Yes. Just to explain a little bit more, because some pharmacists from compounding pharmacies ask us about the percentage of magnesium in the formula, how it works. Can
the elemental points?
The elemental points of this product. Can you help us to explain this kind of things to our audience?
Yeah, so it's around 7% elemental magnesium in the compound. So in the clinical 2-gram dose, you're getting obviously a fraction of that, which is magnesium. Clinically, the L-treonic acid component bound to that magnesium is what it makes the magnesium bypass sort of the typical absorption process in the body and enter the cerebrospinal fluid, which is then what carries it up through the blood-brain barrier and into the brain. So kind of tying in your points too with the efficacy and the safety, we've extensively looked at not only just the safety of Magtein, but also we monitor formulations in combination with Magtein, for instance, in other magnesium salts, because we know if there's going to be certain interactions and in the US limit or, with our trademark licensing agreement restrict certain types of formulations, but from a safety standpoint, in the public interest. So there is quite a bit of know-how behind the ingredient that we're obviously, always willing to extend that support.
Something that I would like to push in the discussion, Samantha, that I believe that could be a very nice information for our partners is, how is the Magtein market in US? Could you tell us a little bit the ingredient performance in the US market? Have another cases, not just in US market, but in other countries around the world. You can talk a little bit more about the Magtein performance, sales performance.
Yeah, Magtein is one of those ingredients that we call it sort of a unicorn. It's performing. The growth rate is so shocking. I'll leave it at that. But what's really fun about the ingredient is initially, because of the early research, it was much more focused around the aging population because of the clinical work around working memory, short and long-term memory, and executive function from a cognition standpoint. So that was kind of the bulk of the formulations, especially through the practitioner channels. Now, I would say half, if not more, I could be wrong, but it feels that way, of the business has shifted into other applications and combination formulas. The gaming market is big. People who want the focus and the concentration, long-term. Sleep, as you mentioned. So different dosages of Magtein in combination with certain ingredients for more targeted health benefits, aside from just the memory and cognition, and then extending into food and beverage. We have it in bars, in canned drinks, powders, ready to drink. It's one of those things that people, they'll want a couple of different products on their shelf that they can take throughout the day with varying levels of Magtein, so they can consume more than one a day. So yeah, and then internationally, it's growing like crazy, especially now that we have EFSA approval. The European market is just exploding.
So Daniel, in my opinion, this is the best green light that we have for this kind of ingredient, because everybody looks to put the Magtein brand in the label. Everybody. So because if the product performance is still growing, it's because it works. It works, of course. This is
That's right, and the repurchase rate of existing, if you look at the purchase history of existing customers, year on year, they consistently grow. And the feedback that we receive from our clients is well above average with Magtein, because as you said, the perceived benefit of the consumer, and it's a quick perceived benefit, so they keep coming back. And if they try to stop taking the product, that also ties in. They notice when they stop taking it. And so then they're very quick to put it back into their regimen.
And I remember I saw a video from Dr. Liu that he explained that the first benefits the patient perceive is the quality of sleeping. And it's the same when the people stop to take Magtein, they perceive that their sleeping is not so well as before when they are using the product. We receive some people talking about that. I forgot to take the product. I forgot to buy, and I perceive when my sleeping is not so well. I don't know exactly why it happens and why it's the first benefit perceived, but it happens. And we are using something here in Magistral to explain to our market how this product is important. And we are using a tag to this product. The tag is, if you love someone who have the need of cognition improvement, the sleep condition, please give to them Magtein, not other Magnésio L-Treonato. And that is so simple and truth, because when you love someone, you want to give to this person the best thing you can do to them. Okay, and this product is one of this kind of solutions at the moment. Maybe in the future the science will discover something new, but at the moment is one of the solutions we are able to provide to our customer, to our final consumer.
We are talking about confident, right? So as we are talking about this brief conversation before, lots of science, investment, technology. This is not one, no. And sometimes I had one say that works for many products that we had in our portfolio, because as we know, Newcorp, I9, we had ingredients that are reference in the market. So always we need to explain the difference between our referential ingredients and the competitors' copy, right? So sometimes the people can thinking that they are pay less for one similar ingredient, but they could pay too much expensive price for nothing. This is the problem. Because the most part of the time they are not pay for something cheaper. They are pay lots of money for nothing. This is the problem. If we can convince the market that this is what happens in this case, I believe that we are in good way to have success in the market, because easily we had these guarantees. We know what we are offering, and we know what we are this kind of competitors are offering too. So let's try to be the best, to try to convince our partners that we had better situations to offer the right product for the patients, and it's still the marketing healthily. Because this kind of level of competition is not good for anybody.
No, of course. I completely agree.
If I can add, one thing really to note here, this is not some, exogenous compound that we're taking and wanting an effect, like a drug. We're actually addressing a foundational, biochemical reaction that is natural to the human body. In the brain, as you mentioned earlier, there's 300 plus chemical reactions that rely on magnesium in order to properly function. And simply because of the way your body uses magnesium and other parts of your body that need more, the brain is the last to get whatever is left over. And it is hugely understood that the general population is insufficient in their magnesium intake in general. And so now the brain is suffering even more as a result of this. So we're talking about something that you're supplementing that is delivering an essential mineral directly where it needs to be used. And then, and so those benefits that you're feeling are how your body is supposed to be performing under the right set of, conditions and under optimal health. And that's what you're achieving with the Magtein intake. It's not like, something that's like, like an herb or something that's not natural to the body that is eliciting some sort of stimulant reaction or anything. So, I mean, it's fueling your body with what it needs to function the way it should.
Magtein, it's always one kind of subject that we extend more time. Because unfortunately, we are having lots of problems with this competitor, this kind of competition. If without this competition, the product potential just for the compounding market is around 10 metric tons per year.
It shocks me that even just from the crossing the blood-brain barrier standpoint, that the pharmacists are comfortable prescribing something if there hasn't been.
Because I believe they are trusting in the paper, they are reading, but they is not reading the context of this paper. As I mentioned before, if you look in the materials they use, they achieve the product buying, or the source is money. Some pharmacists forgot about that. Some doctors don't see, don't
Yeah,
Pay
they're
attention.
not-
the attention.
they're
They don't
not
have the attention.
detail.
They are looking for the benefits, how they can prescribe it to the consumer, what kind of composition they put in a formulation, but they forgot sometimes to see the source.
Mhm.
And we are here to show it to to our customers and final consumer. But you know, the difference of these two kind of products, every molecule has a CAS number. That's a number that identifies
Mhm.
what product is. And how can a product, Magtein has a CAS number, is sold as a magnesium L-Treonate with other CAS number? The number of these products are different. And why they are different? Because the molecule is different.
They're not the same.
It's not the same. And Magtein has the magnesium L-Treonate, but also is a hydration molecule. And this hydration we're talking before is related to the solubility necessary to
Bioavailability.
bioavailability.
Mhm.
Yes. And sometimes people don't see or don't know about this kind of information, you know?
Yeah. I think what you mentioned previously, there's other materials that are anhydrous, and without knowing in depth the way that these materials are produced,
Yeah.
It raises a question around first of all, the stability of the material.
Yeah.
Because there is such an affinity for water.
Yeah.
So how is it stable? And as you mentioned, how is it bioavailable then?
Okay. Samantha, again, thank you very much for your explanation, for your sharing with us. Flávio, thank you again.
No, it's my pleasure, and thank you very much for this invitation. And we are so glad to have this opportunity to share this experience with you guys. We believe so hard in this partnership, so I believe that we are part of the same team. So everything that you need for offering more information, good information, science for your partners, we are here.
Perfect. We will, of course, invite you more to share your knowledge with our audience. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
I'll
Thank
take
you very
any
much.
reason to
And
come
me
back.
too.
By extension.
Yeah, of course. If you have the opportunity to come back to Brazil again, please come here and maybe talk about science, about products and health to our audience.
Wonderful. It's been a pleasure. Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure to me too. Thank you again. Obrigado a você que nos assistiu até agora. Se você ama alguém que você conhece, que tem algum problema com cognição, com problemas de sono, lembre-se, para quem você ama, você dá Magtein.